Another night trying to sleep in the back of my car. Another night of no sleep. All I can think of is the way Yolanda was looking at me. I could see the hurt in her eyes. How could I have screwed up so badly? She was the only thing in my life that was going right, and I had to mess it up. I really must have something wrong with me. No, she never wants to see me again. It is a lonely sunrise. After breakfast, I decided I need to forget about Yolanda. I really have no choice. It's either that or spend the rest of my life regretting a stupid mistake. You just have to move on sometimes, no matter how lousy it makes you feel. So it's time for me to put the next phase of my plan into action. I drive to the shelter where I've stayed many a night. Just walking in the door is depressing. The place reeks like a barn. But I remind myself that I'm not here to stay. I'm here for a higher purpose. I say hello to the man working the reception desk. Then I go into the main area, where about 20 people are having breakfast. The food smells and looks terrible. But it's all some people have to keep from starving to death. Hey everybody, I say. Can I have your attention, please? Some people ignore me. They think I'm just one more crazy person. Homeless shelters are full of them, after all. Others look at me curiously. My name is Walter. I'd like to offer you some work. But everyone like to earn $20 today. Several hands go up right away. Others don't. You would think that everyone would want to work. But some people are here because they're mentally ill, or too sick, or too old to work. I've heard enough stories to know that all it takes is a series of bad breaks. Just like what happened to me. A lot of people have even had worse luck than I have. And imagine being 60 or 70 years old to boot. You can just see how life just isn't fair sometimes. But there are a number of younger, healthy people who just need another chance. And I'm going to give it to them. Okay, everyone with their hands up. Follow me, I say. About 10 people get up and follow me. We walk past the guy at the desk, whose jaw is hanging open. What's going on? He says. It's a brand new day, I say. Opportunity just knocked for these people. The guy smiles. Amen to that, he says. Out on the street, I turn and wait for everyone to catch up. Then we walk in a group to the uniform supply store, just a few blocks away. I've already arranged with the owner of this place for a bulk discount. I buy 10 t-shirts that say, Never Late Urban Courier. Then I have everyone put them on. When that's done, I gather them all on the sidewalk. I hand each person a stack of 100 business cards. I explain what I want them to do. Walk around town and deliver these cards to businesses. Everyone picks a different territory. Be polite, be respectful, get in, get out, and do not waste anybody's time. Okay, that's your job, I say. And to show you my heart's in the right place, I'm going to pay you half in advance. Here's $10 for each of you. Come back when you're done, I'll give you another 10. I hand them each a $10 bill. From the looks on some of their faces, you would think they just won the lottery. I figure maybe one or two of them will keep the money and throw away the cards. There's not much I can do about that. Most of them will do what I ask them to, and they'll come back for more work again. Those will be my future employees. Now, let's see. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, I have one.
Oh, man!
There's a voice behind me. Why did you make my little girl cry? For a moment, I don't want to turn around. I know that voice.
Oh, no!
But I do turn. And who is standing there behind me but Parnell Jefferson?
Oh.
Mr. Jefferson, I say. What are you doing here? I decided to follow you last night, he says. I know you slept in your car. And I followed you again this morning. You followed me? I needed to know who was coming around my daughter, he says. What's going on with you, Walter? That's it. No more hiding. So I tell Mr. Jefferson everything, including the fact that I'm homeless. To my surprise, he listens and nods. When I'm done, he does something I wasn't expecting. He smiles. Thank you for being honest, he says. Mr. Jefferson, the last thing in the world I want to do is hurt your daughter. I say, but I just couldn't stand the shame. Guess I'm a coward. No, you're not, he says. Do you think you could be as honest with Yolanda as you just were with me? think she would listen? I say. Well, says Mr. Jefferson, there's only one way to find out. You mean I should go talk to her right now?
Yeah.
That's just what I mean. If you're serious about her, that is. If not, then don't bother. I just thought that after what happened yesterday, you told her half the truth. Mr. Jefferson interrupts. What you need to do is tell her the whole truth. I nod. You're right. Well, is Yolanda at work right now?
Yeah.
Yes, she is. You want to walk with me? I ask him. Sure, Walter. I'll come along, he says. I'm dying to see how this works out. So are we, says one of my new employees. I've forgotten about them. I turn and face them. Sorry, folks, this is some personal business. Meet me back here tomorrow morning to collect the rest of your pay. And I'll have more work for those interested. Good luck, Walter, says a big guy with red hair. Hope you work it out with her. Yeah, good luck, says everyone else. Let us know what happens. Thanks, I say. Then Parnell and I head for the Postal Center. It's time to make things right. Or real. Chapter 14. Mr. Jefferson says he'll wait outside while I go in. He doesn't want to interfere,
Okay.
so I head into the Postal Center by myself. Yolanda is standing behind the counter. She's got a pile of rubber bands in front of her. She's sorting them according to color. Nobody in line, just me and her. When she sees me, she stiffens up. A look comes over her face that tells me this is not going to be easy.
Oh,
Well-
buggers.
I didn't think it would be. I'll walk up to the counter. She says nothing. She doesn't even look up. She just keeps sorting rubber bands. Hi, I say. Was there something I could help you with, sir? She says. So it's like that. Yeah, it's like that, she says. There's something you need? I'm very busy right now. Yolanda, there's something else I have to tell you. I didn't give you the whole story yesterday. She stops sorting the rubber bands and looks up at me. Oh, so you were lying. No, I wasn't lying. I wouldn't do that to you. How do I know that? You stood me up with no trouble. Maybe you can lie just as easily. Oh boy, this is not going well. I can't believe how nervous I am. My palms are sweaty. I'll wipe them on my blue jumpsuit. Well, she says, what's this big thing you have to tell me? I don't have all day. Those rubber bands are not going to organize themselves. Yolanda, the truth is, I'm homeless. I say, and it's really embarrassing, so I didn't want you to know. I was afraid you wouldn't want to see me again. I stood you up because my life got turned upside down. Just when I thought I'd lost everything, I lost even more. When my car got towed, it meant I had to go back to the homeless shelter. I had no money, no job, no hope either. And I didn't want you to know how bad things were with me. I guess I was afraid. I'm sorry I didn't tell you the whole story. But now you know. I already knew you were homeless, Walter, says Yolanda. I can't believe what I just heard. I stare at her, my jaw hanging open. What did you say? Oh, come on. Give his sister some credit. The signs were all there. What signs? I say. I thought I was doing a good job of hiding it. First of all, you wore the same suit every day.
You can smell
That was kind of a clue. Second of all, why would you come in here if you had a place of your own? You needed a mailbox because you needed an address to put on your resume. Am I right? You should have been a detective, I say. And another thing, you checked your email here all the time. Most likely, if you had a place of your own, you would have a computer too. But instead, you used this one. So, that was another clue. You should have been a senior detective. Anything else, Sherlock Holmes? You did let a couple of hints drop, Yolanda says. Like, when we were out to dinner, you said you had a small place downtown. A really small place. You may not know this, but you looked out the window at your car when you said that. I did? Yup. Body language is a dead giveaway. You're scaring me, so you knew I was homeless, and you agreed to go out with me anyway? Yes, I did. Why? Yolanda rolls her eyes. Do I really have to answer that one? She says. What do you mean? Walter, first of all, I knew enough about you to know you're no bum. I could see how hard you're working just to find a job. I know sometimes people just catch a bunch of bad breaks. It's not your fault. I knew you were the kind of guy who wouldn't rest until you've gotten what you wanted out of life. And that made me respect you. Wow, I say. I wish I had known that. Walter, what is wrong with you? She says. The fact that I went out with you wasn't enough to tell you how I felt? You think I'd just go out with an old guy who asked me? I'm very picky. Ask my parents. You're the first guy I've ever brought home to meet them. You're kidding me, I say. No, I'm not kidding, she says. That's why it hurt me so bad when you didn't show up. I was besides myself, Walter. All I could think of was that you were hurt and couldn't get help. Yolanda, I say, will you ever forgive me for being such an idiot? She gives me another long look, but this time there's a tiny smile playing around her lips. Walter, she says, go check your email. What? Why? Because I sent you something. You sent me an email? How did you even know my address? Yolanda reaches under the counter and holds up a piece of paper. My resume has my email address on it. When you came in to make copies of this, I made an extra one for myself. I'm amazed. You did? But why? I was curious to know more about you. Now go check your email. I go over to the computer and log into my email accounts. I haven't checked it in a long time. There are a lot of messages. Some of them from places I asked for a job. I don't care about those anymore. I keep looking through my inbox until I find a message from Yolanda. I click on it and it opens up. It reads, wherever you are and whatever happened, it's okay. Just come back. That's all it says. Check the message header to see when she sent it. The data is over 2 weeks old. I get up and go back to the counter. You sent that before I even came back to apologize, I say. Believe me, there were times I wish I hadn't sent it. But now, glad I did. So am I say. Thank you so much. You're welcome, she says. I don't know what to say. How about you tell me about this big business idea of yours, Mr. Urban Courier? What? How do you know about that too? It's on your name tag, genius, says Yolanda. Oh, right, I say. I forgot. Listen, how about I tell you about it over dinner tonight? If you'll give me another chance, that is. Chapter 15. Long story short, she gave me another chance. And this time, I didn't screw it up. It's a year later. Yolanda and I are in the same Chinese restaurant we went on our first date. But we're not eating. We're dancing. Lots of my old friends from the shelter are here. So are my best customers. All her family members are there too. Everyone is watching us dance. There's a DJ playing a Robert Flack tune. The first time ever I saw your face. Yolanda is wearing a white gown. I'm in a tuxedo. We just got married. A lot's happened the last year. My business has grown. It's too big for me to run on my own anymore. I have 20 employees now. Most of them are people who used to be homeless and unemployed. Now they all have jobs. They can afford places of their own. They're off the street and supporting themselves. They're productive members of society. You can see the difference in the way they carry themselves. Feel alive again. I have a business partner too. She's the woman in my arms right now. Yolanda runs the administrative side of things. She takes care of the office. She's even got her own secretary to help her. Without her help, I'd be lost. She's smart and capable. She's my partner in every sense of the word. I spend a lot of my time dealing with clients now. I still go around drumming up new businesses. But it's on a whole new level. Instead of knocking on doors, I sit in fancy boardrooms with executives of large corporations. I like it. Feels natural. Like it's what I was meant to be doing all along. Scooby is still with me too. He's in charge of my employees now. He doesn't call himself Scooby anymore.
Oh, really?
Now he's back to calling himself Samuel. That was his name before he lost everything. He just told me the other day that he hasn't felt so good about himself in years. And he thanked me for giving him a chance. I told him he didn't have to thank me. He has helped me by doing such good work. Makes me feel so good to look around the room at all these people. Parnell performed our wedding ceremony. I could see by the look on his face how proud he was that we were getting married. He's still protective of his little girl, of course, but it helps that he thinks a lot of his new son-in-law. Mrs. Jefferson is standing next to him. If she smiled any harder, her face might fall off. She's been teaching me a lot of Mandarin. We can have a whole conversation now. She says, I'm a natural. If we have kids, Yolanda and I want them to speak both languages. Yolanda wants kids. A lot of them.
Oh.
I look down in
yeah.
Yolanda's eyes and smile. How you doing? I ask. I'm great, she says. How are you doing? I'm sorry I'm such a lousy dancer. That's okay. You're good at other things. Did I mention this is the happiest day of my life? About 1,000 times. Well, I'm going to say it again, in case you forget. I won't forget. The song ends, everybody claps, then the DJ puts on some livelier music, and the floor fills up with people. Chinese, blacks, whites, Hispanics. Looks like the lobby of the United Nations. It's the oddest collection of people you'll ever see, and one of the happiest too. Everybody starts to boogie like dancing is going out of style. The DJ switches back and forth from soul and rap tunes to Chinese pop music to blues and rock and roll. Everyone is having such a good time that no one cares what they dance to. They just want to get down with their funky selves. By the way, says Yolanda, I want to give you this. She presses something to my hand. What is it? I say. Just look at it. She tells me. I open up my hand. It's a tiny piece of paper all folded up. I unfold it. I can't believe my eyes. Is this what I think it is? I ask her. Yes, it is. You saved it all this time? I sure did. Read it. It's the fortune from a fortune cookie. It's when Yolanda got on her first date in this very restaurant. The one she wouldn't show me that night. Fortune says, you will marry the man of your dreams. Aww. I thought you didn't believe in these things, I say. I never said that, she tells me. I just said they weren't really a Chinese invention. How come you didn't show this to me before? Because I didn't want to jinx it. I wanted it to come true, she says. And it did. I grab my wife close and hold her tight. We're not rich, but we don't care about being rich. We just care about being happy. We don't have the money to go on a honeymoon right now. We don't care about that either. We'll spend tonight in a luxury hotel suite. We thought we would treat ourselves that much. Then it's back to our regular lives. It's okay. We love our lives just the way they are. When we check out of the hotel, we'll go back to our new apartment. We just bought it a month ago. It's not a fancy place. It's not very big.